The title of this video is, Where is my hypotenuse? That may sound like a funny question, but that's what you have to ask yourself when you're using the Pythagorean theorem. Usually the Pythagorean theorem is shown with a triangle that looks like this. The two perpendicular legs are named A and B, and it doesn't matter if I call the vertical one A or B, but they're both one of the things. One of them is A, one of them is B. And the hypotenuse, the side opposite the 90-degree angle, is called C. When that's true, we say A squared, one of the legs squared, plus B squared equals C squared. Now, what's true here is that a perpendicular leg length squared plus the other perpendicular leg length squared equals the hypotenuse squared. And it doesn't matter what we name them. I could have called them P, Q, and R. What's important here is, where's the hypotenuse? Well, P and Q make the perpendicular, the 90-degree angle, and the side R is opposite the 90-degree angle. The hypotenuse is opposite the 90-degree angle, and it's the biggest side because the 90-degree angle is the biggest angle in the triangle. In this case, since R is the hypotenuse, P squared plus Q squared equals R squared. And it doesn't really matter which one of these is P or Q. And this is pretty silly, but it makes the point even more clear, I think. It doesn't matter if they're given names, like Ari and John and May. Who's the hypotenuse? May is the hypotenuse because May is opposite the 90-degree angle. So Ari squared plus John squared is May squared. Okay? Always ask yourself, where's the hypotenuse? Don't look for the letter C. Look for the side opposite the 90-degree angle. Okay, so let's just do that in these three problems. In number 1, we have two legs. One is length 12 units, one is 5 units, and the hypotenuse is not called C, it's called X. But we can still apply our Pythagorean theorem. 12 squared plus 5 squared equals X squared. 144 plus 25 equals X squared. This is 169 equals X squared. And if you take the square root of both sides, which you can do on your calculator, you get 13 equals X. In this case, X is the hypotenuse because it is opposite the 90-degree angle. Okay, in number 2, we have another right triangle, and we have to find Y. Notice nothing is labeled C, but we do have a hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is 15. It's opposite the 90-degree angle. So now 9 squared plus Y squared will equal 15 squared. 9 squared plus Y squared equals 15 squared. 81 plus Y squared equals 15 squared, which is 225. So in order to solve for Y squared, we have to subtract 81 from both sides. And we get Y squared equals 144. 225 minus 81 is 144. Take the square root of both sides, and Y equals 12. 12 is the missing leg. And we found it once we knew that 15 was the hypotenuse. In number 3, we have two legs. One is 7 and one is 24. And the hypotenuse here is called Z. We know it's the hypotenuse because it's opposite that 90-degree angle. And once again, we apply Pythagoras. 7 squared plus 24 squared equals Z. Oop, I wrote the Z very funny. Z squared. Let me write it again. 7 squared plus 24 squared equals Z squared. And you can do this on your calculator in one step. You don't have to do it by figuring out what 7 squared is, 49, and separately and then adding. Just start with your square root, because that's what you're going to end up doing. You're going to take the square root of both sides. So we're going to do the square root of 7 squared plus 24 squared. And we're going to do that in one step. And z is 25. Z, which is the hypotenuse in the situation. So remember, when you solve your problems using the Pythagorean theorem, always make sure you find the hypotenuse first.